The Chicago Bulls finally traded Zach LaVine, a move that people have been waiting to finally happen for a while to kind of clear that direction for the Chicago Bulls. The question now is are the Bulls done? And if not, what's next for the Chicago Bulls? We've already gotten some rumors and some rumblings on what the Bulls could be planning down the road. They have to make a trade to at least clear some way for the other two players they got back in this trade. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And listen, so Zach LaVine's officially traded. We now know that the Chicago Bulls, what they're getting back, Kevin Huerter, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, their own first-round pick back, right? But that still leaves, one of two things, well, a few things that are going on. The Bulls have got back three players, but only sent out one. We have no open roster spots, so that means that the Bulls have to create another two more open roster spots by facilitating trades, right? Now, they could very well, before the paperwork is filed for the league office, try to find a taker for either Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, or Trey Jones. They could try to do that. Also, they have their own veterans that they're looking to try to move as well, which is the most likely scenario here. We've gotten some details since this trade went down that apparently the Golden State Warriors were in talks with the Bulls to acquire both Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, but those talks did not make it far. So it wasn't like it was something that was on the doorstep of happening or anything like that, but those conversations did happen. Now, do the Warriors pivot and do something more focused on Vooch? There's some questions on if that's going to happen or not, right? We've heard other teams being in on Vooch potentially as well. The Lakers could still go that direction. The Mavs are still a team that, I don't think it makes any sense for them now, right? And then also that the Bulls are not done. This comes from Joe Cowley, which take what you will from Joe Cowley, but the Bulls are not done. And, they technically can't be done because they are bringing in two players without open roster spots. They do have to make some subsequent moves, and do those moves net them more picks back? That's the biggest question here, right? And so we'll see what happens with that one, man. But I still think the most likely scenario is maybe a team with Lonzo Ball, and we get a couple of second-round picks back for Lonzo. That Nikola Vucevic trade may still go through, right? We've heard that they are also shopping players like Javon Carter and Chris Duarte, THT, right? So the Bulls still have other players that they can definitely move if need be. And between what they do now and Thursday is going to be really telling to how that all works and shapes up, right? So we'll see what happens there. But the Bulls are still actively shopping their vets now, and we'll see what comes out of that, man. If we couldn't get a proper first for Zach, then we ain't getting it for Vooch. Yeah, but the team's involved. I definitely get what you're saying with that, right? And so we'll see. Lonzo and Vooch heading out at this point too, possibly wouldn't be surprised. That's what it seems like, right? That's what it seems like. Although they clear his massive salary, Bulls should have gotten Castle, Devin Vassell, or Coach. No, they shouldn't have. Listen, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Like this, I've told y'all this for months. If the Bulls made these moves, the players that they get back aren't the focus. It's the assets. Now, I'm not saying the Bulls got great assets back for Zach LaVine, but that was the focus. The players weren't the focus. They weren't going to get those players back. I've been prepping you and telling you guys that for months now. Haize, I don't know how you do it, man. How do you stay positive and put on another video so soon after the pathetic shit by our pathetic front office? Here's the thing. I'm not my happiness isn't tied. Like, I'm a huge Chicago Bulls fan, right? But the Bulls aren't my identity. So it's not that, the Bulls made a bad deal, right? It's a questionable deal. It's not a deal that made the team better. And it's not a clear deal that is going to do something either. But I think at the end of the day, there's still big questions on what the future is going to hold, right? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I never seen a team being in rebuilding stage. Is it really bad to watch? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, it's very bad to watch. It's extremely bad to watch. Duarte for some Taco Bell gift cards. That's hilarious. Why got to be Taco Bell? That feels targeted there. It feels targeted. Bulls don't have to trade players to make LaVine trade work. They just have to waive 2 players. Well, that's the thing, though. Evolving Hearts. Every player on the Bulls roster, even the ones that were reportedly trading, are guaranteed contracts, which means that the Bulls still have to pay them the full length of the contract, which also means that it still counts against the salary cap. So the Bulls aren't at a position. Now, a normal franchise may just waive players, but this is the Chicago Bulls that we're talking about, Evolving Hearts. They don't want to pay the luxury tax. So even if they were to waive them, that salary still counts fully against the salary cap. So, and I can look at the deals with Kevin Hurt. I don't think the Bulls can waive enough to where it doesn't put them. They have $9 million beneath the luxury tax. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Not gonna lie, Kings gonna be the exact same spot they were, but the Spurs are running the West now. I don't know. I can't say that they're running the West. They're still not better than the OKC Thunder by any stretch of the imagination. They're not nearly as good as the OKC Thunder. So no, the Spurs aren't nearly running the West, bro. Like, don't be a prisoner of the moment. The Spurs aren't running the West yet. Now, as Wemby grows, as the young players on that roster still grow and develop, of course, this is a future play as much as it is a present play. But the Spurs aren't running the West. They're not better than the OKC Thunder. They're not better than the Houston Rockets. They're not better than the fully healthy Memphis Grizzlies team. The Spurs aren't running the West yet. Now, and I'll also say that the Kings are in a much better position because they still have a really good roster while adding 3 first-round picks to it, right? Of course, they're not going to be like world beaters or anything like that, but they still have a solid roster. It's crazy that if you told people at the start of the season the Bulls got off Zach's contract without giving up a pick, fans would have think Acme's a genius. No, I still think there's still some fans that would have been upset by that. Man, I'm just shocked we didn't get rid of all the protections on our pick. You know, it is what it is. Love the response to your question. I didn't even see your question there, brother. Oh, I did say. Oh, I did answer your question. My bad. Listen, my brain is fried right now, bro. It's brain's fried right now, bro. Can we trade for Trey Murphy, please? Probably not. Probably not, fam. Probably not. I already read that one too. So this is a blow up now? No, I mean, I guess yes. Like if you trade Vooch, you trade Lonzo, you've traded Zach. Yeah, I guess that's tantamount to a blow up for sure. So it is what it is. Haize, look, I understand getting our first round pick back, but you don't want to give up picks along in the deal that you end up looking bad on long term. Yeah, but it's a second. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a second and that hurts, right? But you know, it is what it is. Moving his salary is being overstated. We take on 2 contracts for $35 million each 2 years for worst players, even if they were expiring. Not like we're going to sign anyone anyway. But no, moving off of it is moving off of it because their contracts still expire 2 years before Zach LaVine. 2? Is it 1? I think it's 2 years, but it may just hold on. I could double check that. Give me 1 second. Let me just double check it to make sure I'm not talking out the side of my ass. Give me 1 second. So Kevin Huerter expires at the end of. Let me change it to multi-year. Give me 1 second. So Kevin Huerter and Zach Collins expires at the end of the 25-26 season, right? So at the end of next season. Let's go look at Zach LaVine's, I think. Well, he has that player option, right? So Zach LaVine's contract goes until he's an unrestricted free agent in 2026-27. So, yeah, I mean, he has an additional year. So you're still getting salary cap relief, considerable salary cap relief. Even 1 year of salary cap relief from Zach LaVine contract is a considerable salary cap because of how much his contract was. Now, the part that I do agree with you on is that the Bulls still aren't going to be a free agent destination, right? So it's really just helping Jerry Reinsdorf's pockets. it has to be a blow up because at this point we don't even know who's really stayed besides maybe Modest. No, listen, they're not going to trade everybody. Kobe's probably not going anywhere. Io's probably not going anywhere. P. Will's probably not going anywhere, right? So you still have those things, but I get what you're getting at for sure. If there's one thing that the last 24 hours has told us is that every player in the NBA is up for grabs at this point. Definitely. What does NBA shopping mean? What do you think the Bulls can get for Craig Carter, THT, etc.? Do you see a Kobe getting traded? I personally don't see Kobe's getting traded, but doesn't mean that it can't happen. How I didn't see Luka getting traded, right? So if Luka can get traded, anybody can get it. It's just on what the deal is. And because the Bulls didn't get anything but their own first round pick back, which adds some clarity for the team, maybe it is that they do look to try to make other moves to get other picks back so they can really stack the deck with future draft picks. So I'm not going to say that it's not possible, right? I'd be crazy to say that, but I don't think, as of right now, nothing that I've heard or seen makes it seem like that's going to be the case, but we'll see what's going to happen there. SB says, salute Haize in the chat. Surprised we didn't get Keegan Murray in the Zach trade. Why are you surprised with that? The Kings are still trying to maintain some level of competitiveness. So yeah, no, they're not going to give that. So you need to tank for 2 seasons now if you're the Bulls. Maximize your chances for Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper. Listen, the Bulls, I tell y'all this, the Bulls are still they may just be a bad team. But I don't think they're going to be out there trying to purposely lose, but we'll see. We have too many guards. Yeah, but that's why we're not done yet, right? See, Randall, because they have to make other moves. So we're not necessarily done yet. So we'll see. More trades coming. Hopefully start modest. Maybe. We'll see. I'm cool with the blow up. At least we got it. And that was the thing coming into this, right? And I have to hold myself to what I said earlier as well. That's what I said a while. I just want a direction for this team. And it seems now that we have that direction, right? So, we'll see how it continues to go. We have too many guards. We'd like to see if they can get another actual power forward and a center. Keep them the whole actual power forward. There's no such thing as actual power forwards. This isn't the early 2000s. If you look at most of the people that play the power forward can play either position. That's where the league is going to is versatile forwards. But I just want to see the talent level overall increase. That's what I would love to see from this team. We're going to keep our 2025 pick likely, but we're likely to lose it next year when it's only top 8 protected. Getting this pick back is getting back a late lottery. No, it's not. Because here's the thing. The Bulls are we have a bottom 9 record this year. Bottom 9. And that's with Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic playing at a near all-star level. Right? So I don't know about that. Turn down MPJ in 2031 first for this. Yeah. Absolutely. Obviously, it's people's entire job to make these kind of decisions, but in moments like this, all I can think of is I could have done better. That's funny, Camille, but I feel where you're coming from. But I think you're mistaken about the protections on the pick. Mark Stein was just saying the pick obligations are completely done. We'll see. I've read opposite of that, right? We'll see. I mean, if it is, cool, great. I mean, that's a great thing for the Chicago Bulls if it is. But I'll say this: nothing that I've read points to that adamantly being that. Now, the paperwork isn't filed with the league yet, mainly because it can't officially be filed with the league because the Bulls don't have the open roster spots yet. But we'll see what happens there. So we'll see. I don't know what the hell the Chicago Bulls are going to do. They better get off some of them contract because don't you get fined for having too many players on your roster? We'll see. Per Darnell Mayberry, the Bulls now have a $26 million trade exception by taking the Guerrero contract. Well, the thing is, they have a $17 million trade exception too. That doesn't mean they're going to use it. It is what it is, right? We'll see. I mean, I hope we'll see. But the Bulls typically they've created exceptions before that you just let expire, right? Point is, we don't need to play the new guys. We had to play Zach. We can sit the new guys and rebuild. Yeah, but they're not going to. They're not going to sit a guy like Kevin Huerter. Zach Collins is probably still going to be behind Jalen Smith, right? Trey Jones, it's going to be difficult for Trey Jones to crack a lineup unless we trade another point guard. So, yeah. Bulls can get Keegan Murray, tank for 4 years. Guard Pack said long jam at guard spot. Different people, same idiotic mindset. Here we go with six dreads. Bro, I'm 41 from California. I've been a Bulls fan since I was 5. East Coast bias is real to the Western Conference. I mean, yeah, that's where the money is, especially right now. I'm a little upset we didn't get a pick for Caruso, DeMar, or LaVine. It will be travesty if we didn't get one for Vooch. I mean, you're probably going to get a pick. It may just not be a first round pick. That's the way that it may shake up, right? If we don't do any more trade, we will have $36 million in cap space next year. Yeah, but and that's all great and fine and dandy, right? But the thing is, let me make sure that that's true. Total tax, dead money, active tax. Oh, next year, yeah, $34 million. We have $17 million underneath the first tax apron next season, though. You think even with Luka and LeBron, OKC can still beat them or the Cavs? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Now, the Cavs is going to be interesting, right? But we'll see. Duae's got some insiders because I'm very worried about if we can move who else we would like to move. We'll see. I got a little bit of insider. Like I had the Bradley Beal trade 2 weeks before it got announced. Well, the talks between the teams, we'll see. Jay says, thank you for all the content the last few hours. I'm not too knowledgeable in basketball, so you're making it easier to understand these trades. So I appreciate that's my job here. That's my job. And we'll see. Package Vooch and Zoe. That's Vooch and Zoe is $40 million. That's gonna be a little difficult, right? So it's not just about grouping the talent, it's also about finding the right mix of teams that can absorb that salary, right? That's what you got to look at as well in all this, and we'll see if the Bulls can do that. We'll see if they can. Not saying that they can't. They very well could be able to, but I'm just saying I'm not going to say for sure that they can. Fox going to help space the Spurs? Yeah, but let's not act like Fox is like some amazing three-point shooter. He's solid, right? Is there a support group for AK-induced depression asking for a friend? That is hilarious. That is funny. Are we getting the Portland pick next? No. So the Portland pick, brother, is that we only get the Portland pick if they make the playoffs. It doesn't seem like they're going to make the playoffs, so I don't think we're going to get that pick. I could be wrong on that. Could absolutely be wrong on that. Maybe they do something crazy, but they have to make the playoffs for us to get that pick. What does this say about the Bulls' direction, getting no picks except for our own pick back? That they plan on being bad. Very, very bad. It's probably what it's going to be. Looks like the Lakers are looking for some defense. Yeah, that's why I think the Clint Capella aspect is probably more realistic than them making a move for Nikola Vucevic. But we'll see. We'll see. With that cap space next year, the Bulls sign an actual player, Kuminga, BI, or absorb bad contracts for assets. It may be nothing, none of that, right? They keep in mind they got to extend. Well, they don't have to, but they may look to extend Josh Giddey. They can negotiate with Kobe and Io, so maybe they go ahead and lock those guys up since they know that money's coming off the books. But I don't think that is going to be a huge thing. I don't think that is going to be a huge thing. So we'll see. Does this affect what you'd want from the draft? No, because the Bulls, here's the thing, the Bulls keep the pick regardless now, which is really good, but we'll see. Fox didn't come here. PK, are you really in here talking and you don't know what the teams were? Like, the Fox didn't come here. Fox went to the Spurs. He's not coming to Chicago. And your 3 picks didn't come from us. Are you in here being slow? We probably have a 50-50 shot at getting the Portland pick in 2027 and 75%. Hey, listen, you have a lot more upside thinking on the Blazers than I do if you think the Blazers are going to make the playoffs in the next couple of years. You seem legit. I'm going to subscribe to your channel. Well, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hope you like it around here. Why is everyone convinced we're making more trades? We should, but Acme's really because we took back 2 players back and we got to open up spots for those players. So, and like I said, the Bulls could waive people, but that then means paying them and it's still counting towards your tax bill. So more than likely the Bulls have some other moves that are probably happening, right? What do you think about 3 players we got in return? I mean, Kevin Huerter's. I actually like Kevin Huerter a lot. I mean, for the level of player he is, I'm not saying like he's going to change some stuff for the Bulls. I think Kevin Huerter is a fine shooter, right? But other than that, it's really salary cap filler in a lot of ways. Bill says, Kings fan here. Us fans of bad teams, organizations, let's just root for each other and cry. We never get anything good. Shaking my head, treadmill to nowhere. Hey, listen, it is what it is, man. It really is what it is. But hey, I listen, you guys at least have Sabonis, right? Like, you know, it is what it is, man. It wasn't a great return for Sacramento either. The Charlotte 2005 pick won't convey, becomes 2 seconds next year. And the Spurs 2027 pick will probably be late 20s. I haven't looked at exactly how the picks work out for the Kings, so that's actually a pretty good point. Trey Jones, that's 4 to 5 point guards now. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But hey, this is going to be a very interesting team to watch. People have been asking like what the starting lineup is going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea. I'm not even finna front on you and give you some long explanation. I have no idea because the Bulls have already been starting 4 guards, right? Like what are we doing here? I don't know. You got to think that it's still going to be Giddey and Kobe. Io's probably going to move to the 3, which you're probably bringing Patrick Williams back into the starting lineup. Vooch is still your starting center. So that leaves Lonzo Ball, Kevin Huerter, Dalen Terry, Modest Bucilis, Jalen Smith as your main bench rotation. That's probably how it's going to shake out. So why do you feel like you're banned from the channel? What did you do? What did you do to be banned from the channel? So, man, I just want the MVP Rose era back. Do you think we can reboot it soon with PJ Rose, Cameron Boozer? You so silly, bro. You're so funny. I don't care if they win another game, bro. Lose big, so we can get that draft pick. Season over. Well, we got it back now, so we're gonna keep the pick regardless, right? We're gonna keep the pick regardless. What about Julian? Well, Julian's fallen out of the rotation recently, right? So I mean, I hope he can get back in, but he's gotten some DNPs or very trash minutes. So it seems like he's fallen out of Billy Donovan's rotation. Maybe he can get back in. We'll see. I can't watch Kobe anymore, man. I'm tired of this team. Listen, it is what it is. You'll be right back, bro. Right back. Do you see a coach firing now? No, I don't. I think that if the Bulls are going to fire Billy Donovan, they would have fired Billy Donovan. That's just my personal opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. Javon gone with Vooch. Can't have 2 6'1" point guards. Well, it's going to be difficult. It's not like Javon Carter has a vet minimum contract. So we'll see. Did the Bulls get fleeced? That's a great question. I'll say this. I don't think that they got fleeced because I think that they got what they wanted. I think that they got the direction that they wanted. And if their team is going to be bad and they're going to keep their picks for the next 2-3 years, I think the Bulls got exactly what they wanted. Clarity for their roster and their direction. We still fucking with continuity. No, I mean, you traded Zach. You can't say continuity anymore, right? Seriously, don't know how your GM still have a job. Hey, bro, because it's the Chicago Bulls, bro. Anybody who's in that position is going to keep it for about 10 years. That just is what it is. IO says, wish we got back more, but nonetheless, it was a good move. It's solid. I mean, you get your direction, which I've been saying for a while. That's what you want, is you want to pick and choose your direction, or your direction was going to choose you. The Bulls got proactive and they chose their direction. Now we got to see how they're going to come out of the other side of that. So, but when you look at it, the Bulls have moved in the last calendar year, Zach, DeMar, Caruso, Andre Drummond. I know I'm probably missing some other people in that as well, right? Those were very big pieces of the core. And out of those, out of Zach, DeMar, AC, Andre Drummond, you got 1 first-round pick, because you traded the second-round pick you just traded that back. You got 1 first-round pick back, and that's your own first-round pick that you're on pace to keep anyway. That's crazy. That's wild when you think about it all that way. Think about it this way. Like, think about this. Like, if at the start of last season, right, somebody would have told you, because remember, we started off last season with Caruso and Drum and all those guys. If at the start of last season, the Chicago Bulls traded Zach LaVine by that trade deadline, last trade deadline, not this one, the Bulls traded Zach LaVine, Andre Drummond, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan. If they traded all 4 of those players back at last year's trade deadline and only got the rights to their own first-round pick back, how would you feel? Because that's what just happened. That's what just happened. Now, if you say that you would have liked that, cool. But I think you really have to look at it in that sense. Like, that's basically what just happened for the Chicago Bulls. They just traded. I mean, they just got rid of Zach, Caruso, DeMar, and Drummond. And only out of that, what they got back is their own first-round pick. That's what they just got back for it. That's crazy. That's, when you put it that way, that's wild. That's a little bit depressing. Just a tad. Just a tad. That's just a tad bit depressing when you look at it that way, right? Now, if the Bulls win the draft lottery, let's say that they do fall into the top 4. Does that change it? Does that change it? And the first round pick we got back was for trading for Debo. It was what we sent out in the sign and trade for Debo. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Caruso. Oh, good point. Good point. I didn't think about that. You're right. And Josh Giddey. Great point there. Great call out. Great call out. So that's facts. That's fact. Good call out there. So, hey, I mean, if you're happy with that, you're happy with it. But, hey, it is what it is, man. We don't control it. We don't control it. So, let me know what you guys think on everything down below, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, 773-270-2799 with the #1 spot for everything basketball, for everything Chicago Bulls related. But that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. Man, that's crazy. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace. Hold on. Let me actually play the outro. See, I've been tripping lately. I haven't been playing the outro. Love you guys.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.